can see today in the market, the gadgets have become very cheap. So people are entering into market with very less capital to trade, and they think they will become very profitable. So according to you, how much capital is required in the market by which the person can be profitable in long term run?
So basically, this is a question about sufficient capital. And this information is not given by the people who work for brokers where you open trading account or demat account because they want you to enter the market anyhow because they are not responsible for your profit. They are simply trying to onboard as many clients as possible because this is what their work is. And most retail clients are not in touch with the real advisors. Who are real advisors? Real advisors who really are responsible for profit making are the people who sit in portfolio management system, which starts with 50 lakhs rupees in India. If you take an example of UAE, even at the retail level, that amount is $50,000 there, equivalent to $50,000. Some other level, which are professional level, there is requirement of $500,000 equivalent amount in AED. So there they get the real advice about the risk management, about the profit making. Otherwise, where people are not in touch with such kind of firms or companies, they are totally getting wrong advice. So brokers are simply trying to get as many people as possible on board. They just want so many number of demat accounts, and that's why all the RMs or sales executives of those companies are onboarding people for a very less amount. Maybe you can start trading with $100 or maybe 10,000 rupees. This is what they say, but this amount actually is not sufficient for any kind of trading or proper risk management. This just gives you what just a taste of trading. And what happens when people start with this kind of amount? They automatically develop a tendency of gambling or playing. They consider this as a game because when your amount is very small, let's say $500 or let's say $100 or $200, obviously you are not bothered about losing that amount. What you like to do is to do something which is really sensational, something which is giving you a thrill. And in this process, most people trade just like gambling, or they just consider it like a game. On the other hand, if your capital is sufficient, let's say $100,000, you wouldn't go with such kind of mindset. With $100,000, of course, you will simply want 5%, 3%, and you will be satisfied. Let's say you are getting $5,000 in a month or $15,000 in a quarter. That is 60%. So on a $100,000 account, somebody is making $60,000 in a year, will obviously be more than happy to stay at that level rather than increasing the risk and making this investment some sort of game or gambling. But when they start with a smaller amount, it automatically changes the entire mindset. So that's about the human psychology, which makes them gambler or players. When they start with sufficient capital, they also have that investor kind of mindset. So it's not just about the nitty gritty of risk management, what kind of lot size you trade, where you place the stop, how you enter or exit. It is also about human psychology of the investor itself. That's why we are asking for at least $1,000. Look at any business. If you consider this as not gambling or not some sort of game, consider this, if you're considering this as some sort of real business, no business can be started with less than $1,000. If we talk about Dubai, let's say, even if we go with the smallest possible business, let's say street food, it requires at least $20,000 just to establish any small food kiosk kind of business there. Even if you go with the concept of cloud kitchen with delivery only service, people will simply order and you will get the things delivered. Even and you go with the shared cloud kitchen, not your own, even that business there will cost you something around 1,500 to $2,000 or equivalent amount in AED dirham. In India, if you look at any street food business or simplest possible business, pani puri or maybe momos or whatever you consider, let's say you open some small condiment store or some sort of a kiosk for selling cigarette and pan or something like that, you still have to start with more than 1 lakh rupees. So how come we start thinking that something like real business is possible with amount like $100 or $200? Nothing is going to happen. What happens with $100 or $200 is the same thing. Either it is going to be a game or it is going to be gambling. Mindset, capital, and everything together will make it either gambling or game. It will never be a real investment. So that's why we suggest to start with $1,000. This is the real advice which is otherwise not coming to the retail clients because they are not in touch with the people in PMS and hedge fund I want to repeat. So that's all in short. Thank you.